Hi again, folks, and welcome to another video about this computer. I appreciate your continued interest. I decided today that I'd like to see how well this thing does perform at 1440p. I didn't really build it to be a 1440p gaming PC. It's really meant for 1080p. But the card is powerful enough to run some games at 1440p very, very well. I would say it's able to run really any game at 1440p just with lower settings. But I am not going to use low settings for this particular benchmark. I'm going to keep the settings where I had them when I did my 1080p run through. And if you watch the other video, the long video, you will in there find a benchmark using a 1080p monitor, 60 hertz monitor. And so this here is a 1440p monitor, and I am going to, and it's also a 144 hertz monitor. So I'm gonna change some things around just a little bit, just so we can see if it does go over 60 frames at any point. I am gonna run FreeSync, and let it do its thing to smooth things out, because I think that's the proper way to play a game like this, anyways. But I just wanted to start out by showing you guys this set of graphs here. So you can see that the GPU right now is pegged at 100%, and that's the current temperature. It's 64 degrees. I can hear it running. So it is maintaining its temperature fairly well, running at super duper maximum velocity right now. That is to say, I just have it on the default settings. I'm not running any overclocks or anything like that, just like I did before. So I just have automatic default. Okay. And that's how we're going to do this one, just because I don't want to get into any of that stuff. I leave that to whoever is going to purchase this thing. So I'm going to close out of our Radeon settings here for now. I'm going to go over to our video settings really quick, and I want to refresh rate at 144 hertz, because that is what we're running this thing at. And so I'm going to hit apply, like so, and it just, I don't know, that was weird. It just stuck on 60 hertz. Let's go over to graphics, VSync on. That's strange. 144 hertz. Apply, confirm. There it goes. It just didn't stick last time. So now it's stuck, and we are looking pretty good here. So back. You guys aren't necessarily going to be able to see a difference on this recording, because I think this recording is being done in 30 frames, just because of the nature of my phone. But you will be able to see the numbers on here, but I can say it's running definitely higher than 60 frames right now, just based on the movement of this character from my perspective. But we'll be able to see more specifically when we do the benchmark. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, there it goes. So we're at 70, 68, 67, 66 FPS right now. And it's dropped a little bit. It's at 49, 50, 51. So we're in the 40s, high 40s. It is running very smoothly, though. There's no hitching or hiccups. So the CPU is handling this very well. Okay, so we got a 51 FPS average with a 98% GPU usage and the CPU was obviously not as taxed because it was more dependent on the GPU through that run. And so you can kind of see there how things are looking, at the end of that run there, and not too bad, I'd say, considering I basically have this on high settings, probably a little higher than high because I have some custom settings in there, and so this is probably a little more demanding than just the straight up default high settings. I'm going to go ahead and hit Alt R just to give us a few more bits of information to look at while it's on this screen. And yeah, the temperature is at 65 degrees and it hasn't climbed any higher than that so far. So that cooler on that graphics card is doing a really nice job of keeping it under a reasonable temperature. And that's under full load after doing a benchmark. So let's go ahead and Alt R out of that. And we will escape. And there it is. If you do want to run games at 1440p, you can get yourself a nice 1440p monitor. Maybe you don't need like 144 hertz refresh rate. You could probably get away with just doing like a 75 or a 60 hertz refresh rate with this graphics card and have some better balance there. Save yourself a little bit of money. But you can run it a higher resolution than 1080p for sure. So this will do very nicely. And as I said before, this is a AAA title, semi-recent AAA title. So it runs this very, very well. I'm going to go ahead and exit out of here. Oops. Click home. Quit. Yep. Let's quit. And so yeah, that's the background that I've put on this thing. And I updated the browser too, so that we're getting a better experience there with Google's new Edge, which is a Chromium based browser. And you can see how snappy this thing is. So that's the cool thing about having 144 hertz monitors. It's super fast. And so yeah, this is a lot nicer than the monitor I was running it on before, and it handles it very, very well. So I just wanted to give you guys an opportunity to see that. And thanks for watching.